All right, let's do this pretty quick. I'm tired of making videos. I'm going to get cranky. I'm almost hangry. That's a funny word. It's like angry and hungry or something. Hungry, angry. Rabbit raising. Controversial topic. I'm going to make it real simple for you. First of all, it's not an option of whether I'm going to do it or not. I know there's a lot of people out there who are on their vegan mission to make sure everyone is like them. And I realize the ethical things about killing another human being, another being, it's controversial. So what? I'm done with the controversy. I've already made my decision. So get on board or get out of the way. That part of the conversation is now over. Here's the deal. We colony raise. We don't put them in cages. I want these bunnies, these rabbits, to have a very good life. I need to make a main large courtyard where they are and have other courtyards attached to it. We need to be able to rotate them through these courtyards. Now, they did get their own homes underneath the dirt. And so we have some controlled entries into this area. There's a couple things I want with rabbit raising. One is do it right. And I know what right is. It's happy bunnies with enough space. And the reason there's different courtyards is because we can grow things in those and cycle the rabbits through it. And they will graze after we've harvested all of some garden stuff that we got food, like peas or whatever's in there, they can go in and then they can mow it down and then they can shit and fertilize it. Now it's difficult if we have things that produce their fruit or the thing we eat at different parts of the year. So we have to think about what are all the plants that might be appropriate in there and what might not be. Maybe we have radishes and we go in and we harvest all the radishes because they all come at the same time, more or less. And then we leave the radish greens everywhere, or we toss them over the wall. We can do a lot of things. We have a lot of options. Tossing stuff over the wall is great. But this is how we grow annuals. I'm often in favor of perennials, but these rabbits are maintaining that land really well, and they dig down their own little burrows. I don't even see the babies till later. The babies come out. This does aerate the land as well. As far as whether there's trees in there or not, that's another issue. We have to protect the base of most kinds of trees, not pines. And so we want shade for these guys, but we don't want problems with trees. Like the ones I have at my current rabbit coop, they're going to fall down and squish the fence, all of them. And I have to rebuild the fence. That's a dumb place to make the rabbit coop. I did that. It was an accident. Rabbits are the most economical animal to raise. They can eat things that we can't eat. So the brush that grows over the trail, we can give to the rabbits. They eat it. They turn our garbage, although we have to move this green garbage, but it turns it into food. And some people will say, oh, if you do that, then they'll get diarrhea and die. Well, I don't think they will. And we can look at their diet, and I can review my notes and what smart people say. But lots of people say stuff that isn't true. We can have rabbit food. And that may be useful. We can keep on top of any parasite issues or sicknesses. And with these various courtyards, we can have a central building or entryway buildings that has a stock of the commercial food for them. We can have on the side a building that we can take a bunny to, break its neck, skin it, send the meat to the kitchen, and immediately harvest or tan the hide, tan the fur. That fur is a very valuable part of the rabbit. It's worth the time, and that, for a lot of people would be an interesting skill to learn. I would hope it would be for you. Rabbit fur clothing is awesome. We've made great hats, and I think hats should be our primary product. We could make vests, we can make blankets, we can do a lot of things, but hats are easy to make. They're really warm. Like you have a rabbit fur hat on your head and you look cool. You look like a Mongol or something. And they're just a great thing. Could try making a rabbit scarf, I guess. There's various things. Anyway, so you get so much out of the rabbit. The meat to body size ratio of what your result is really high. We'd want to monitor the rabbits a little bit better. It's possible that we could have rabbits in more than one location. Right now, the rabbits I have access to are New Zealand and California mix. They're a fine mixed use rabbit. They're great. I'm willing to consider other species, but it's usually easiest to do whatever's easiest. On the other hand, I should go through the list again. Consider every type of rabbit. And what would be if we picked just one other one? You know, like I think Angora is a rabbit, right? But I think in this climate with all this dirt and the way I want to raise them, I don't think they're a good choice. I don't know that, but it seems like it. It seems like their hair would get pretty dirty. Flemish Giant, the biggest rabbit. Should we raise a rabbit? Biggest one? Be funny. One of the other things that's very important is that I want to think about all the uses of a rabbit. And I'll tell you, one of the uses is that they're cute. I like cute. And so there has to be a place where we can take rabbits, probably younger-ish rabbits, ones that are no longer nursing, and we're certain of it, ones that can go to the adolescent area. And we're removing them from their parents. This is after we think they don't need them. Now we have to consider the feelings of the rabbit here and make sure we're not taking the child away from the identifiable parent too quickly. And these are the friendly rabbits. What we're going to do is have a courtyard, and I think we just need probably, well, they'll eat everything in a courtyard. Maybe these are rabbits we're fattening up to kill. You know? Certainly if a mama has babies and they're good at cranking out babies, and we should track that as best we can. Use trail cameras if you have to. But figure out who's where and who's having what babies. And if a mama's cranking out the babies, keep her alive. You know? That'd be great to know that. It's really hard though with colony raising. You know, where you have them outside and they're just all free and happy. Anyway, so back to this friendly rabbit garden, is you have a space. It could be that rabbits aren't normally even allowed in it, and maybe you have them come in and out. Maybe you have a way to entice them to come out, and it could be rabbit food. It could be that, you know, because what I'm thinking of is visitors here. You could also have a little door you can open up and only let in a certain number of rabbits. Something like that. I don't know. There's so many things to think about. What I'm reminded of is this island in Japan, and there's these videos of, like, you know, happy tourists feeding the rabbits and the rabbits mobbing around them. You know, little girls laying on the ground and rabbits are mobbing her. It's cute. It's totally fun. They're not dangerous animals. That's not true. There are limits to this because actually human-animal contact can be dangerous. They do have claws. They can scrape you. And maybe this is why I was thinking of the younger ones too. Maybe the younger ones would be less aggressive, because some of the males can get pretty aggressive as they get older. And we should decide, you know, track the males as well. Track the males better than the females, because that's how we can affect things genetically, is by selection of males. So selection of males is more important than selection of females. I think here's what I want for race, for species. No, for what's it called? Breed. That's right. For the breed of rabbit, I want rabbits that are multicolored. That's what I want. And that's because I want the fur to be distinctive. I want the animals to be distinctive so we can track them, right? Heck, you can even imagine a computer system that tracked every rabbit and everywhere that they go. That's pretty crazy. But, you know, I was saying how it's so hard to count them and keep track of them and know who's born from who. But this thing could actually know where a den was and who went in it. And then who came out. And it could be 24/7 system. Rabbits are not very active at night, so we don't have to do a lot of tricky, weird lighting things probably. And also for what we need to know, we probably don't actually have to do 24/7. But cameras could automatically track, and we don't even need fancy video on it all, but it could track who went where. That's the key. That's a crazy idea. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my conclusion then. I think that's a final thing, is get a mix of looks. And I had that last time. I had black and white rabbits that looked distinctive. And if I bred for distinctiveness, meaning that I let the most different colored mothers continue to reproduce, right? I kill the males who don't have interesting markings sooner. I take them, I harvest them. But I let the males that have the coolest markings live. And I also send them in with the females. Sometimes they're going to be separated, not always. Depends on issues. If rabbits have enough space, they're extremely peaceful. But they don't like to overcrowd, you know? Just like it's bad for beings to do that. And that'd be our fault, because we had bad courtyards. They were too small. I'm imagining pretty big areas. So the problem is that you probably also want to have an area where you have them more dense during part of the year. You've also got big issues with if a mama has babies in a spot, and this is why the computer thing would be so amazing, you don't want to move her. So the actual moving process would be at certain times of the year when there's a little bit less babies, but they have babies all the time. It's crazy. So anyway, yeah, breed for variety of look. Why not? That sounds very fun. What else we need to talk about for rabbits so you think it's a good idea? Oh, it's also food. I forgot that. It's kind of important. It's very much like the size and the style of a chicken. You know, its got big legs, and that's the best part to eat, the easiest part, I think. It's got a bunch of meat on it if it's a fat one. And the wild rabbits around here are not domesticatable, is what I understand. And they're skinny. So that's game. That's, you know, wild rabbit, hare. I think, you know, we want to fatten these guys up. And we want to figure out maximum efficiency on when to harvest them, because we don't want to feed them if they're not going to grow more. So basically, as soon as they get to the weight they're going to get, and this is another reason to individually identify them, is we have to set up a capturing system, because that's one of the problems with colony rabbits is they're free. Now if we have the friendly rabbit place, maybe we end up with rabbits that come right up to you when you walk in there and they like you. Then they're easier to catch, although they still don't like to be picked up that much. We could do that. I don't know, picking up rabbits and petting them a lot, but I'm imagining a bigger operation than that where I don't want to do that. I would like the Bosque Rabbit Project to have, well, the courtyards are the most expensive. I think if I was going to think about providing meat for us and not for other people, and if I was going to think that there would be 20 people here, okay, then 2 rabbits would be a lot of meat, because some people don't eat meat. And the meat can be used very effectively, you know? So if we killed 2 rabbits a week, if we had one day that we had that meat, or maybe twice a week, I don't know, I'm going to get lost in the math here because I don't want to think about it. I really am tired. But basically, you could easily have a small system that produced meat from forest greenery primarily was really fun because you had this fun rabbit courtyard where you could feed the rabbits and play with them. We got to check into disease issues. And we're using the products, the warm hats, and we're selling them. You know, we're able to produce, if we were killing 4 a week, let's say, that's over 200. Call it 200 a year. 200 pelts, divide that by 60. Why? Oh, because you need 3 pelts per hat. So 180, whatever, divide that by 60, you get 3 pelts per hat. So we need 60 pelts a year. Wait a minute. What was my goal? I don't know. I got confused. Anyway, there's these furs that are really cool, not all of which will turn out to be perfect for making a hat. So if you were killing 4 a week, oh yeah, that's what we were figuring. That's what we started with. Oh, I was figuring how many furs we'd end up with. Anyway, and I came up with 60 hats, right? But how many people can we feed? That's plenty of meat. If somebody needs more meat, we can find some other way. But how many rabbits is it? That was the goal. How many rabbits do we need to eat 2 a week? Well, that means we're killing 200 a year. Wait, 365, 52, 200, 200 rabbits a year. That's a lot of rabbits. If we wanted to kill 200, we would have to have mothers and babies and adults. And so, but they mature at different times. So it's not 200 rabbits. And they mature pretty quick. Like really quickly, they get to the point where, you know, you can harvest them. Polite way to say murder them. So let's just make up, and also we may want to make a system that we can actually start to experiment with things like other things happening to them, because I also want to get other people raising rabbits around here the way I do it, because I think it's the right way to do it. Tanning the hides, by the way, don't bring up brain tanning. I want to keep the skull intact. I know that you heard that, and that's neat. You're so cool. But try not to tell me about things that I've already heard about a lot. You know? And then I'm not going to do brain tanning for rabbits. It's not a good idea. Skip it. I don't want to use aluminum, whatever. I don't want to use... I can use some salt in the process. We should have big bags of salt for this. We should have excellent scraping tools and also video instruction on how to get the fat off of a hide, to prepare a hide really well. And we should have, for the chemical, right now it's tannins. We would buy tannins in bulk in a whole costal. And tannins come from currently a tree that they peel the bark off of, and then they make a powder. And you use this with your rabbit skin to tan it, because it has lots of tannins. Well, there's something else that has lots of tannins, and that's oak leaves. You notice when you have oak leaves in old water, it turns brown. So here's the experiment, okay? I'll do another part to this. That was part 1.